Hi everybody, Bob with Knives Town here. Today we're taking a look at an ESEE-6 knife. ESEE is that survival knife company that came from Randall's Adventure and Training, formerly known as Rat Knives. They make some of the very best survival knives out there, and they've been putting them to all kinds of hard use tests. If you go on their website, you can see the photographs and the accounts of how they've taken these knives to the Amazon and places all over the globe, far-flung places in wilderness, put them to the test and make sure that they are proven products. This particular model is the ESEE-6 double-edged. It comes with a hard, high-impact plastic sheath and a detachable belt clip. Just taking a look at the belt clip first, as you can see, the knife, it's just the sheath only, just the blade portion. It does not come with a built-in belt loop or anything like that. It's made to be attached to different things. ESEE does sell molly locks that you can add onto this. That's an extra cost. That doesn't come with the knife. The belt clip does come with the knife, but you can buy an additional molly lock to use mounting it in that way. It does come with 10 holes around in the sheath where you can use to lash it to things, or you can just toss it in a day pack or backpack, or however you want. If you do want to wear the knife, like I said, it does come with a detachable belt clip, and it's got a metal spring clip on it here. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a close-up on that for you. This metal clip here, I like how it has like this G clip. It's almost a G clip. And you can see how it would fully enclose the belt or webbing or whatever it's attached to, so that it would come down and really lock it into this space here. This part is plastic, and then this is your spring steel, and it does attach to the plastic sheath here with 4 screws. So you would attach it, well, typically it would go this way, and you would attach it, to wear it like a belt, wear it on your belt, and that would attach with the screws provided. It does come with that. I suppose you could attach it, lower down or in any other way that you want. But that's the idea of the detachable belt clip. And I like the idea that it's detachable. It allows you to decide how you want to carry it. It allows you to, it gives you options for different carry. The sheath itself, like I said, it does have the 10 holes on it, so you can use that for lashing. You can also use it to thread paracord. You can wrap paracord around the sheath and then occasionally threading it through one of these holes so that it doesn't slip off. So it's a holder in that regard. It is molded. You can see the outline of the blade there, so obviously it does only go one way on the knife. It is molded to the knife. It's rattle free. You hear that? There's no rattle there. It does come with this length of paracord and a cord lock on it to help with your attachments. The knife the sheath rather, does have this jimping here at the top there for your thumb, and that's the push-off point. So it helps you, get a little bit of quick, traction there to open up the knife, which is a friction. It is just a friction held in with friction, but it's held in very securely. So you would just push off with the knife, with your thumb, and draw the knife. And as I said, it does have a friction lock there. And I like the audible confirmation that you've seated the knife and it's not going anywhere. There's the knife. Let's get some technical specs on that. The blade on this knife it's just shy of 6.5 inches from the handle to the tip. But the actual cutting surface, as measured just in a straight line from where it begins here to the tip, is 5 3/4 inches. Okay. The overall length of the knife is 11 3/4 inches, and the weight is 11.7 ounces. So it's really a very good size for a survival knife. It's just, it's not a machete, but it's certainly got more than enough length there to to take care of all the jobs that you would need to handle. The thickness of the knife is 1/8 of an inch. So if you can see that there, and as you can see there, it does have some jimping on the top spine. And you can see here that it does have this black traction coating on it. That is, of course, to protect the blade and prevent corrosion and rust. Since this blade is made with 1095 steel, that is something that you're going to want to make sure you do, is just keep it dry it off, and make sure that you're taking care of the blade, because it's not a stainless steel, it's a carbon steel, and it can corrode and rust. But that really only applies to the exposed surfaces, is what I'm saying. The edges, and the laser etching here also would be a little bit susceptible. But otherwise, this black traction coating seals out the air and protects the steel. It's certainly a large enough size. It's a full-size knife, full-size survival, camping, wilderness knife. No doubt about that. The blade, again, it is a full flat grind from the spine to the edge. And one of the things that this knife has that's a little unusual, I suppose, for a survival knife, but we're seeing it in other knives, is beginning to see it more in other knives, is that it is actually double-edged. It does have a fully sharpened top edge here that goes about halfway the length of the knife. And in some knives, this top edge will be, say 3/4 sharpened. I'm thinking of the Tops Hellion, just right off the top of my head. That knife also has a similar top sharpened, but that one's only like 3/4 sharpened. This one, though, is fully sharpened. This is fully knife sharp, just as sharp on the top as it is on the bottom. So you want to be careful of that. And there's various uses for that. Obviously, it'll aid in penetration, but what you've got there is essentially a backup blade. If your primary blade down here is chipped or damaged, you're not able to repair it. You're away from camp. Your hones are back home, or your sharpener's back at camp or whatever, and you're using your knife. You do have a backup top blade there. So that is certainly definitely a good thing to have. It does also give incising advantages where cuts in both directions can be made, rather than having to turn the knife around for each cut like that. To wiggle the knife in and out of places. It certainly is an advantage to have, but you do want to make sure that you're aware of that as you're working with it. The handle is made of micarta, and that is one of the, I've got to say, if it's not the best, it's certainly got to be one of the best. I mean, these micarta scales, especially the way ESEE makes them, and Tops as well, they make them really both the same. They're just so comfortable in the hand. They fit your hand so well, and they're so comfortable on the tops and bottoms where your palm and your fingers hit, because of the rounded corners and edges. Everything is softened. All of the corners are softened and chamfered and just rounded and smooth. There's been a lot of thought put in the handle where your hand is not going to get it's not going to get fatigued. There's not going to be any hot spots if you're working just barehanded. If you're working with a glove, it's certainly easy to work that way, because there's no fussy little finger grooves to deal with here. You've just basically got one front finger guard there, and then a palm swell type here, and then a back ramp. It's just really very simple and can be used effectively barehanded or gloved. No problem at all, none whatsoever. I give it high marks for the handle for sure. It is a full tang construction. The blade goes all the way through, and the blade mimics the shape of the handle. It comes out the rear in a pommel, a pounding pommel, and it does have a lanyard hole attachment there. You can see it does have a choil here up front, and so you do have a choke uphold possibility there for this type of work. And that kind of a knife there is the sort that you're going to use in almost any kind of a situation that you'll find. This knife is one that will serve you in any situation. You can, if you're hacking or chopping, you can go this way with that double edge, and you can get through brush, take down twigs and branches, and clear your way as you're going through. It's got the heft to do it, but it's not, again, 11.7 ounces. It's not too heavy to carry. As for batoning, you may be questioning about that with that sharpened front edge, but this blade, it's 1/8 of an inch thick. So at 1/8 of an inch thick, okay, that's not the same as some of those other survival knives that we've seen, which are 1/4 of an inch thick. So it will split through. It'll do splitting easier than those, and you would be able to baton, from the back side. You certainly could do that, and the thinness of the blade would assist in the ease of moving through the wood. That is an excellent rugged built knife, 1095 steel. That's the ideal steel for a survival knife. It's a great length. The ergonomics you couldn't get better, and you've got the advantage of an extra advantage of a double edge there. I think that's definitely something to consider. So that is the ESEE-6 double-edged. It comes with the plastic sheath with the detachable belt clip. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.